hopefully it is useful. Even if you have already set up an alert, I hope to show you a few tips and tricks that go into more detail so that you can really refine your search. We want to make it as efficient as possible. If you have to sift through hundreds and hundreds of different ones that actually are not a good fit for you, right, that is taking time that you could be spending on applications. So let's go ahead. So very basically, if anyone is completely new to the job alerts function on LinkedIn, it is basically a notification that allows you to search for jobs that meet your criteria. And the criteria, we'll talk more about what that means. And then, of course, as I said, this will save you time and ensure that you do not miss any relevant opportunities. So another thing that is very useful about this feature is that it's called the first mover advantage. This was a new term for me as well, but very simply, it means that you become visible to recruiters within the first batch of early applicants. So the idea being, once a recruiter sees an application, or let's say a handful of applications that meet the criteria, they will move forward with those applicants with the interview process. So you will ideally want to be in that first batch of applications, and not, let's say, 1 month later they have already started this process, and you're basically coming in too late in the process. And the alerts can really help you notice and see the jobs right when they get posted. If you are in that 24-hour or 1 week time frame, your chances are usually much greater. And then, of course, time saving, which is always good. So I'm going to show you on the presentation, but I will also hop over to LinkedIn itself. You're going to navigate to the top, which says jobs. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time with the alerts. Now, one thing that I'm sure many of you already have, but I just wanted to bring it up once again, is to also add the open to work option. And in this open to work option, you have 2 decisions to make. The first decision is, okay, at this point, I will jump over. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So once you do choose open to work, on your LinkedIn, you're going to have to decide, do you want it to be open to work for everyone or simply to only the recruiters? So, and if you're trying to decide, like, well, I don't know which one is better, I think that in general, it's completely okay for it to be open to everyone, unless the situation is that you are still working at a job now and you do not want that employer to know. In any other case, I would say, it's not detrimental for people in your network to know that you are looking for work. So let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So as I said, you're going to navigate over to jobs. And once you're in the jobs section, you are going to always go to preferences. And as you can see, my profile has it off, but as an example, I want to turn it on. So I'm going to click that arrow. Once it pops up, you do have the option at the bottom to choose, and I'll talk about this top part in a moment, but just for reference, at the bottom, the visibility, you're going to want to decide if it's recruiters only or LinkedIn members only. And as I said, recruiters only hides that you are open to work from anyone else on LinkedIn. That means your connections, that means past, employers. And you will not have the green band underneath. I'm sure some of you have seen it or you already have it. If you don't care and you want the green band, then it's all LinkedIn members. So that is open to work. Any questions about open to work options? Okay. And another thing that open to work does is for recruiters, right? It just visually shows them, okay, you are job searching, you are seeking. Let's move on to what kind of alerts, what kind of information would you be putting into your alerts? So basically, you can choose a maximum of 20 job titles. When you add open to and you're in that box, right, it's going to give you these different categories, including the job titles, including the location, and including your start date. So each of these is important to fill out, of course, and I would recommend, to use the 20 titles. Of course, maybe you don't have 20 titles in mind, you only have, let's say, 10, but through actually looking at the postings, you might be able to expand the number of titles that you're familiar with that capture the type of positions or skills or experience that would be a good fit, because nowadays there's just so many different titles for different positions, depending on the company, depending on the industry. So it is to your advantage to, have a robust list of titles that you're working with. And one little trick that is useful if you would like to narrow down, let's say you're looking at business development manager and in, let's say, Warsaw, and thousands of jobs pop up and you don't want to look through all of them, you want to narrow it, you can use the parenthesis that will automatically narrow your search to positions that are titled this, not just the positions that include this in the job description, because LinkedIn is just a database, and when we put in a keyword, it will search the whole posting for that word. So that's just one small trick to narrow down. And like I said, being specific is really helpful because you will have to sift through less things that you're not interested, basically. And I'm going to go through this again on the LinkedIn, but if you click on the all filters section and you scroll down to the area that has titles, then you're able to click on the actual title instead of being open to all the different titles. And then once you have your title set, you can choose more than one. And you can, of course, also fill in the other qualifications or criteria there and apply. This will narrow your search. If you, let's say, have to go through 30 postings versus 150, that's already saving you lots of time. And we talked about your visibility already, recruiters or everyone. So selecting the job alerts, this is the section in your preferences that will help you create the alerts in the first place. And this is important to do. And I think I had skipped around a bit, but let's go and do that for a moment. So you're obviously putting in the job title or the skill or the company, whichever you prefer, your location, the city, state, or zip code. And then I always recommend job seekers to select past week or past month in the date posted. The reason for this, of course, is similar to being in the first round of applicants, because this process may have already ended. Sometimes they don't take the posting down. It's still there, even though it's filled. Sometimes they will not get back to you simply because it's already in process or they're already in a different stage. So your chances, I would even say past a week, but if you really don't see anything and you want to kind of get ideas about companies and positions, extend it to past month, but past week is the best chances, I would say. And then a quick note on the level, because that is something that the experience level is something that they will ask you to indicate. Of course, that will also help narrow your search. And I've had people ask me, what exactly does that mean? And some of them are quite, I want to say, flexible. You'll see like an associate level position in one company has many other years of experience than another associate level at a different company. So take it with a grain of salt, but just a few words on each category. The entry level, of course, is compared to the associate level a step down. It has usually less authority, less responsibilities, more of basic tasks. So that, is people who are just entering into the workforce. They just finished university, for example. Of course, right, you want to make sure that you're capturing positions that you still might be interested in, but not underestimating your experience to the point where you're putting yourself in a level below. The associate is, while it's below the managerial level, it's sometimes rolls into the mid-senior. So it kind of, depending on the position, like I said. And then oftentimes, but not always, the mid-senior level can be over 10 years of experience up to the director level. And director and executive, I think, is a little bit more clear what that entails. All right, before I continue talking, let's hop over to what that actually looks like on LinkedIn. Okay, so when I'm in my preference, so just as a reminder, right, you're gonna go preferences, open to work, and this will allow you to set up your definitions. So does anyone want to volunteer a job title that we can create an example with? Anybody have job titles that they're looking for, wanting to practice with?
Maybe it could be HR business partner.
Business partner, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't see. Oh, Yulia. Thank you, Yulia. Okay, so like I said, it's beneficial to add more than one title. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the function that it automatically adds different ones for you. Do you have one more, Yulia, that we can add?
I don't know, people and culture partner or something like this. Human resources specialist.
Great, thank you. And then you can choose your location type, on-site, hybrid, or remote. It will capture all of the ones in all those categories. And of course, location. What is your location?
Poland, Kielce.
What is the city?
Kielce. I don't know if you can find it
I'm
here.
gonna, just for example, I'm just gonna use Warsaw if that's okay.
Warsaw, yeah.
And then this is for on-site, and this is, you can also put your remote location if you're open for remote. So I'll put the same. Start date. What do you prefer, immediate or flexible?
Maybe flexible.
Okay. And then the employment type is pretty explanatory itself: full-time, part-time, contract, internship, temporary. If you are open to a contract or temporary, right, it's just going to expand your search. So let's say you're open to full-time and contract. And then, like I said, the visibility, you don't have to actually choose it at that point, but let's say I choose recruiters only. And then once you press save, your job preferences, with those settings are saved, and you can always update them. And you can go to manage alerts, and you can look at, for example, top picks for you. I believe that's only if you have the LinkedIn Premium. But right, basically it will pop up here in the preferences section again. So that's a really quick run through of that. There's a few other things I do want to talk about though. There is a function called Easy Apply, and since I'm already over there, let me just show it to you. And the Easy Apply function allows you to basically apply from your LinkedIn. So let's just take this as an example. You have the information about the posting, and you have the apply button. Where is the Easy Apply? Okay, that's just apply. Maybe not all positions have the option of Easy Apply. Anyhow, when you are on a posting that you have created a filter for, and it looks like a position that you are really interested in applying, but in that moment you do not have time to apply, always save it. And once you save it, it will live in the section called My Jobs. So you can go there and you can see the saved positions in case you would like to apply at a later time. Another good feature to use is to look at who is the hiring recruiter, and you can always reach out to them directly since you know who they are on LinkedIn then. And one thing that I don't know if this is going to be a disappointment to some of you, but if you hit apply, right, and it takes you to another page. My computer's a bit slow today. Let's see if it takes us there. Basically, the apply button will bring you to the website often of the company itself. And that is good because they do get often lost within the LinkedIn system itself. So going back to Easy Apply, and is that really a good option? If you do see that option, I would recommend against it. But at the same time, of course, it's always good to know what these functions are. And so what it is an application that does not leave LinkedIn. It generates the LinkedIn resume from what you have entered into your profile, and it will include the keywords and basically all the features within your LinkedIn will also be visible to the person reviewing that application. And if your LinkedIn is in really good shape and you have great endorsements and recommendations, and it's really in tip-top form, then and you see a job that you're not like it's not your dream job. You're just like, okay, I'm going to send out some applications. I want to do it quickly. That would be the context or situation to use the easy apply, because it's unclear still to what percentage the companies review it. And yeah, so I would just say you shouldn't be so invested in that position, understanding that it might not be reviewed. And then if you want to increase your chances, though, you can also attach your own customized CV. There is an option when you hit the easy apply that allows you to add additional documents. Another great feature, if you have LinkedIn Premium, and anyone on the call today who doesn't and would like it, our program does offer that feature. So please reach out to me. Let me know that you would like to get it. As you can see today, there are some additional features that can help you in the job search, especially if you have that. So you can create a more comprehensive filter to create like a more customized alert here. Another thing that recently got integrated, I don't think they have even rolled it out 100%, but you might see this in the coming months. It's called Top Choice. And again, it's only available to the LinkedIn Premium subscriber. But basically, what it does is show that you are a top candidate for a position. And the easy apply jobs are the ones that are eligible for this feature. So again, like if you're not using the easy apply feature, then this feature won't be that useful. But I think LinkedIn is always trying to add new features, add new ways of helping people find positions. So keep your eye out for this. And then another thing that I think is also good to note is when you're looking at the position that you have found and you're considering to create an alert from it, see how your skills compare to the skills on the job poster, and you can consider adding additional skills based on that. So let's say you set up an alert for HR specialist, and you always see, let's say the same 5 skills on the posters compared to your profile. You want to, of course, you can't always match 100%, but try to notice those patterns and add those skills as you go. For example, in this example, I had some skills missing on my profile related to the posting. And if you were going to go back and customize your CV to the job, this would be a good indicator. Okay, maybe I should consider adding the word multilingual or adding the word proofreading, either in my skills section on the top of the resume or in somehow integrated into the responsibilities section. And then I can also look at, the other applicants. So other applicants have these skills. So I definitely want to make sure that I also have those skills listed so that I'm competing on the same level as those people. So it's really good data and just, good practice to spend some time looking at that information. It can really help you even further down the line, if you do land an interview for that position, to have some good talking points. Another thing that you'll see when you click preferences, so once you've gone through the job alerts and you set up your alert, there is also the option to add your minimum base pay preference. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that yours will also be shown in US dollars, which is a bit annoying because you will have to not translate, convert, but it's still, I would say, could be useful because it sets a minimum and it won't show you then things that are not within that minimum. And the base pay is just basically the amount, that you're interested in earning. Does not include any bonuses or stocks or commissions or tips if you're in, let's say, some marketing positions have commissions. And then you do have to indicate when you click whether it's per hour or per year. And let's go ahead and check that out. And I actually haven't used that feature because I honestly didn't notice it until today when I was, looking through LinkedIn and through the options here. But I wouldn't say that there's a disadvantage. LinkedIn also ensures you that they will not share this information with anyone. This is confidential. So your option or your preference is not visible anywhere. It's just an internal, let's say, filter. So like I said, you're going to go back to your home. Oh, no, back to jobs and to preferences. So now I have my open to work on, but because that's just practice, I'm going to actually delete it. So we have a clean slate, and then my job alerts were also created, right? Just with you guys. So I want to, in my case, delete these. And then pay. Once you click there, you'll see minimum base pay, for example, 50K, select type per year or per hour, and then press save. And this is the desired minimum for the next role that you're looking for. All right. So targeting companies is a great way to, again, like narrow your search. Let's say you have a few companies in mind, especially maybe you're trying to target the employer partners that we work with. And the first thing to do is to follow them on their LinkedIn company page. And that also functions to help you appear higher in their results. If, let's say, a recruiter from Oliver Wyman is searching for applicants with a certain job title or skills, because you follow their page, you will be higher on that results list. So that's a really big benefit of following a company, right? It's not just for your information, it's also for the company's information about you, and you're demonstrating history and interest with the company. So it's pretty simple. This is a bit dry, but I'll show you in a moment. You go to their page. There's always a jobs tab to every company page. We click on that, take that job alert section and start to type in the job titles that you would like to be open to. Now, the job titles for the company pages are already defined by the company. So sometimes you won't actually see the exact title that maybe you're looking for. So it is also a good idea to even go to the company page first before you make the alert and look through what are the typical titles that they hire for so that you can more easily match with those titles. And then, of course, it's always important to add the location where you're based. So I'm sorry, I'm just hopping back and forth here a lot, but thank you for bearing with me. Okay, so let's go to home for searching our company. Let's start with Oliver Wyman since that was my example. I'm already following them, but if I wasn't, right, I would just press follow. And once I click on their page, then you will see here about posts, jobs, life, people, insights. About is really great. I'm going to sidetrack just for a minute. In terms of interview preparation, this is another good reason to follow them on your LinkedIn. It's just handy. It's there. You can learn about their mission, learn about, what projects they've been recently doing, and be more prepared for the job interview. So jobs is where you would want to click to start creating an alert. And it's already, asking me to, or prompting me create an alert. So I am going to press there. But before, like I had said, if you're not sure like what there's even out there, before you create the alert, you can sort of get an idea here. But the alert will also help you to understand. So let's use Yulia's example again, and then you can be more specific in terms of the city, but I'm just going to put Poland for now, and then create alert. So when I go to manage alerts, then I can see here, it says human resources specialist, Poland, filter is Oliver Weinman, and I can think, okay, and then the alerts, so basically the notifications that you will receive, you can decide, do I want to receive it daily or weekly, and how do I want to receive it? Do I want to receive it via email or notification? If you're someone who checks your LinkedIn regularly, then, just notification might be enough. But let's say sometimes you don't go on, LinkedIn for a week or so, then you might want to choose email and notification so that you're catching, the opportunity when it comes up. So definitely follow, the companies that you are interested in working for. Another fun fact is that for one company, you can have a total of 20 different job alerts. So if I go back home to Oliver Weinman, and then I can create more alerts depending on, what kind of positions that I'm open for. There's also a way, and I'm going to have to try this for the first time, to signal to the recruiter of that company that you are interested in the company. And I believe that you go to settings and privacy. And once you're there, you go to data privacy, which is where? Data privacy on the side. And then from data privacy, you can click on the job preferences. Okay, job seeking preferences. Share your profile when you click apply for a job. That's on for me already. Signal, here it is, signal your interest to recruiters at companies you've created a job alert for. So in my case, this is off, and don't think it can hurt to put it on. Like many things in LinkedIn, it's unclear how many recruiters use this function. Every recruiter works differently, but I think my mantra with job searching is, use all the tools that you have at your disposal, because if it doesn't harm you, if it doesn't harm your application, it can only help. And then what else do we have here? Personalizing your job. Okay, I'm not familiar with those last ones, but This one, signal your interest to recruiters at companies you've created alerts for, could be beneficial. All right, back to our slide. So yeah, this is just another kind of rehash of what I just said. The 20 job alerts can be for one company. This gives you a step-by-step process of how to be notify your interest to the recruiter. And another really great feature, let's say, and I think this happens, quite often at times where you're not 100% sure of which job titles, but you are sure of which skills you have. So you can also create a alert, or let's say notification based on your skills. And this is a lot of words, but basically when you go to your job page, instead of putting in the job title, you're going to put in key skills and keywords. So let me briefly show you what that would look like. Actually, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to keep going, and if we do have time, I'll jump back to LinkedIn. And all of these will create a new alert. So you can have various types of alerts based off of the company, alerts based off of the job title, and in this case, alerts based off of the skills that you have and that you would like to match to a position. You can also, the fourth way of filtering your alerts would be to search jobs in a specific industry. So instead of putting in a title, right, and you can also put in the title as well, but you can narrow the search by adding the industry filter and by selecting the other filters as well. And once you have all those filters set, there is the button to create the alert based off of that information. Okay, so we do have time. Let me show you what that looks like. A, to add the skills and create an alert, and B, to add an industry and create the alert. And those are just two additional ways that help you narrow or widen your search function. All right, so I have to go back to profile, and let's start off with searching for skills. I'm going to go to jobs and click in the search field. Oh, there it is on the top. All right, so does anyone want to volunteer a skill that you would like to use in your search? The example I have on the presentation is leadership and strategy, right? It's helpful to add more than one skill, or business development. But does anyone have a few skills that they would like to try with? And they can be simple as well. Okay, I'll use the ones that I have here. I'm going to use leadership, strategy, and business development. Okay, so as you can see, instead of title and company, I'm putting that. Okay, and for whatever reason, it has Germany, so I don't want that. I'm going to say Poland. And I want to keep adding, right, the additional filters. So as I said, date posted is better in the past week. Let's try first with past week. Experience level, let's say associate, and then it's not remote. Let's choose all of those. Oh, here's the easy apply. I was looking for that button, right? So I don't want to press that yet. No matches. Interesting. Maybe the plus is confusing it. I thought this would work. Let's just use one skill then. Okay, one skill worked. I wanted to choose more than one though. Let's add strategy back and see what happens. No. Okay. So I have 457 results, and that's obviously too many to look through. And it's too general to set up an alert, right? So I don't want to set up the alert quite yet. I want to go to all filters, and I'm going to check, right? Just double check where everything is. So I have my experience level set. I have different companies, but I would like to leave that open. Let's say you want to add a company, you can always do that. The job type is good to add. I want full-time. I have my remote options checked here. And then location is, of course, important. So let's say this was Poland and you live in Warsaw, then you'd have to choose your city. And then what I think, is, and this is what I mentioned before, like adding the industry is helpful, but not necessary. So if you have a certain experience in an industry, your chances at continuing in that industry, are better. And then to narrow it down, this is what I think is useful, is to decide on the different job functions that will help you to narrow down. So I put leadership, and that's a really like huge category. Maybe I'm looking in accounting and auditing, or maybe I'm looking in management positions. So definitely choose your job function. You can even choose the job titles that pop up. So this can also be a good feature to brainstorm additional job titles. They won't always, match, but you can get an idea. And then you can also choose the salary range. If you, right, just want open to all, you just don't click on anything. Benefits, right? So my strategy was not really working because there's no results, but I promise you this does work. I'll have to follow up with all of you on how to make it work better. But okay, if I take off full time, it shows me 6 results, which is still really a low number. But anyway, I just wanted to demonstrate that, when you're in this top search area, you don't always have to just put skill. So you don't have to just put the title. You can put skill, you can put company, and do your search that way around. What else? Yeah, specific industry. I think you already saw the industry sections there. And other than that, I'd love to hear from all of you. How has the alert system worked for you so far? Are there questions that you have had that came up? Are you having any challenges finding good ways to see positions that are a good match for you in terms of skills, qualifications, etc.? So yeah, any questions about setting up alerts?
Thank you very much, Lorena. interesting session. Well, there are no questions. It's rather clear. I'm already using this type of functionality of LinkedIn and have so lot notifications that I don't have enough time to just to browse them. So
Yeah.
now as Poland is preparing for almost 5-day holidays, Boże Narodzenie, it means in Polish Christmas. Well, and I have only one question: do we have next session in a week or not? Due to holidays, do we have it?
We are going to be on a break next week. So thank you for bringing that up. So next week we will have no session. We will pick up again in the first week of January, which would be, what is the date?
3rd of January.
Yes, the third. Oh no, the second. The
Of
Tuesday,
January, yeah.
Tuesday the 2nd will be our next session. And if you, same goes for the Business English Conversation Club, we will skip next week and we'll be back on January the 3rd.
So we'll skip next week. We will skip, yeah.
Yes, yeah, we'll be off, and I hope all of you will also take some time to rest or spend time with your family, or do something nice for yourself.
Okay. So Merry Christmas to America.
Thank you so much. Same to you, Maxim.
More general question, but sorry, not about holidays. You said that there is something like short term when recruiters when they open position on LinkedIn. So first pack of applications will be considering more or less fast, and then it can be postponed. So postponed, maybe just rejected because someone will find from first pack. Yeah.
Like, not always, but I could say your chances are better if you are one of the early applicants.
So early birds becoming more.
Exactly. Early bird gets the worm. I think that's a good policy to have, when you're searching. What the internal process is for each company is so different that, I hesitate just to say that that's a general rule, but it's maybe a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean in general from experience, because job boards usually saying that first some good candidates go into consideration, all of them go into result. So it was interesting how it's going on LinkedIn. Okay,
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Right. Thanks for the question, Sergey.
Thanks for answering.
Any other comments or questions? Yes.
Yeah, I would like to add that I haven't any additional question and everything is clear, yes. And I only to have changed my settings in LinkedIn account, and thank you so much for clarification.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Yulia. Always good to see you.
Yes, I need to use this information in practice on my LinkedIn too, because I don't know about something function before today.
Great. I'm glad that it was helpful, Tatiana. And if you're doing it and you didn't get something or something is still unclear, you can always ask me, because that's what I'm here for. If you need any additional support.
Thank you.
I agree with everyone. It seems really useful, and I'll definitely try it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Liana. And let me know not next week, the week after next, how it went for you, if you're getting some good results from it, because I will also want to know if the practice is useful, because sometimes the idea seems like, oh, good idea, right? But what does it actually do in practice? That's something I would love to follow up with.
Yeah, okay.
All right, everyone. Well, great to have you again join the session. Have a lovely week off next week, and we'll pick up in the new year, 2024. It's hard to believe, but yeah, I'll see you all then. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves and have a lovely Christmas time.
Merry Christmas and
Thank
happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
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 Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.